welcome back. Today we are going to do, I guess we're going to do a story time. But also while I'm doing that, I'm going to be doing my makeup, and I want to also kind of like do a little bit of an experiment when it comes to foundation. I have all the foundations that I own. I have in front of me right now. There's 6 of them. And I just wanted to try something out because I have noticed that it looks like every single foundation that I have, when it dries down, it just dries down really, really red on my skin. And I just wanted to see if it was something that's like, it's just in my head or if it's a real thing. What I'm gonna do is that I'm going to take all of my foundations and I'm just gonna put like a swatch of them like on my face. And I'm gonna let it dry down and we'll see how it looks at the end. And maybe we'll learn something. I don't know, kind of. And then as I'm doing that, I'm also going to just update you guys on my life and something that happened very recently. Let's just go ahead and get started. If you see me looking off camera, it's because I have my mirror right here. I'm just gonna go ahead and start with the Benefit Hello Happy Soft Blur Foundation. This is the shade number 4. Now this has been my favorite foundation for a while, but I think this might actually dry down too red on me. Like once it actually dries down, I think it's not gonna look as good as I think it looks. At least right there, like that's not bad. Let's put our hair up. Okay, the next one I have here is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation, and this one is in the shade Golden Beige. And then the other one is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus, and this is the Stick Foundation in Beige Cream. Okay, so here we have the Benefit Foundation. Then in the center we have Wet n Wild Liquid Foundation, and then the Wet n Wild Stick Foundation. Okay, on the other side, we're going to do the CoverGirl Clean Fresh Skin Milk, and this one is in the shade 550 Light Medium. The next one is the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Tinted Moisturizer, and this one is in the shade Light 5N. And then the last one is going to be the Bare Minerals Bare Pro, and this is the shade Natural 11. Okay, so on this side we have CoverGirl Tinted Moisturizer, then in the center we have the ColourPop Tinted Moisturizer, and then back here we have the Bare Minerals Foundation. Okay, so we're gonna let that sit, and we are gonna go ahead and get started with the rest of our makeup. I am going to be using today for the first time the Lime Crime Venus 3 that I got on my BoxyCharm. This is what the palette looks like. I have never used colors this bright, which probably means this is gonna be a disaster. So let's get started. Let's talk about what has happened recently. If you guys saw my last kind of like get ready with me type of a video, you may have heard that I did this thing called like the DriTri and Orange Theory. I'm not going to go like super into detail about what it is. If you would like to know, you can watch my previous video, but just the main thing of it is that it's a challenge that they do twice a year at the Orange Theory gym, and if you win your heat, then you get to compete in like the network-wide elite. I decided that I was going to compete in the network-wide elite, so that is what I was doing yesterday. Is I went to the network-wide event. So let's start this story on Friday night, because you will find out that is truly where this story starts. So it is Friday night, and we have plans to go out with some friends. Oh boy, that is very pigmented. I don't know if this is gonna work. All right, well, We've gone too far already. Let's just keep going. So we go out. I mean, I already have plans of drinking because like, why wouldn't I? We're out, we're at a nice place. So I just decided that I was going to have some drinks. I have a drink, and it is supposedly it's a passion fruit margarita. Let me tell you, that was not a passion fruit margarita. that just tasted purely like lime and alcohol. But like it's fine. Like, I'm not an alcohol snob. I'll just drink it, and I can enjoy mediocre alcohol. So I go ahead and I have a drink, and we get our food, and our food is okay. And then we are having like a good time, and then we still have like a little bit more food to go. And the waiter comes by and he's like, "Oh, do you want more drinks?" And it's like, well, yes. So I have a second drink, but by the time that I finish my food, I realized that I like don't really want to finish my drink, because it's like I'm starting to like not feel great. I'm just with the food and the first drink, I'm just like a little bloated, but I do end up finishing my drink. I'm fine overall. And so I go to, oh boy, this palette, this is not a Leda palette. I don't know who can pull this off, but that person is not me. That is bright and pink. Okay. Overall, like, I feel okay. I'm just a little bit, you know, I'm just like, my stomach has felt better, but I go to bed and no big deal. So I have work the next day and I'm feeling fine. So I go ahead and I go to work and I get out at around 3, and then the DriTri is at 5. I can't remember why, but I didn't really like have breakfast, and like I didn't really eat. I think the only thing I had to eat was like 2 mandarin oranges throughout like the entire morning. I had like a cup of coffee and then an orange and then 2 oranges. I'm gonna do, I think this is gonna take a little bit of focus for me to actually like get them to be kind of similar. So I'm gonna do my other eye off camera and then I'll be back. It's looking a little rough. I cannot imagine what occasion I could possibly wear this eye look to. Okay, so I also did my liner off camera, and you may notice that they do not match at all. This one, I kind of messed up this one. And I'm gonna try and fix it later with concealer. But anyway, we're worried. Like I mentioned, I go to work. I've only had like a couple of mandarin oranges to eat all day. When I get home, I am like very hungry. And I know that I'm gonna have to go to this event in a couple of hours, and I know that I like shouldn't eat anything too heavy. Like I look in the fridge and we have like leftovers. And so I grabbed this leftover rice with tofu and bok choy. So I go ahead and I serve myself way too big of a bowl and I just sit down and start eating it. I finished about half the bowl. No, maybe like 3/4. Regardless of how much it was that I ate, I shouldn't have eaten that much. Like I definitely knew as soon as I was done eating that I probably shouldn't have eaten that much, but it was still like, you know, like a good 2 hours before I was gonna have to work out. So, you know, like it's gonna be fine. This is no big deal. I'm not gonna be so bloated like by the time that I actually have to work out. And I also didn't mention this, but there were actually like three heats that were gonna be like 15 minutes apart from each other. And I was in the last one, which meant that I was gonna be the last group to start. So it might actually be like another 2.5 hours before I was gonna actually like have to start doing any physical activity. I tried to fix this liner with concealer, but I don't think anything happened. Oh well. So it's 5 o'clock and I'm there at the studio. Before I go any further, let's go ahead, let's just check what's going on with our foundation. And here it is. Here's what everything looks like once it's dried down. It looks like the lighting may have changed a little bit since we started, so I'm gonna turn on my ring light. I think that's a little better. Okay, so here we have, just so we all remember, we have here the Benefit Soft Blur Foundation, the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Liquid Foundation, and then we have here the Wet n Wild Stick Foundation. All of these feel like they all look a little dark on me. If anything, I feel like this one is the best one, which is the Benefit one. And the good thing about this one too is that it's supposed to be light coverage, so I'm sure that I can kind of thin it out a little bit. And then over on this side, we have the CoverGirl foundation, the ColourPop foundation, and then finally we have the Bare Minerals foundation over here. Man, these two I feel like are a pretty good match. Actually, when I look a little closer, the CoverGirl one just looks a little bit red, so I think I'm gonna go with the Bare Minerals one. But let me just wipe this off and then we'll keep going. Okay, so we are at the studio, and something that I was scared of was already happening. And it is the fact that the people who were there were very athletic. Oh, my time for the original DriTri was 55 minutes. And this is important because some of the people that were there had finished the entire thing in like under 40 minutes. So I was definitely not one of the top athletes, but I just wanted to do it because, you know, just for fun. I wanted to challenge myself. And I thought that would be a cool way to do it, to just go ahead and just do the DriTri again. Because I really did enjoy it the first time. I'm there, and the people who are there, they just look like they work out, you know, like they're like, you have these like muscular women and then these like buff men. And there was this guy, he was a coach, he wasn't a participant, but there was this guy who had the thickest legs I have ever seen. It was like his calves were like the size of my thighs. Like they were just like beefy calves. And that ass on that man was incredible. So here I am, like I'm getting nervous because like basically I just don't want to embarrass myself. You know, like all these people are very athletic. I know that they're going to get better times than me, but I just want to like, you know, not suck. And the first 2 heats started, and it's time, and they're going, and they're definitely gonna get better times than me, but I just keep telling myself I'm not here for them. I'm not here to win. I know I'm not gonna win. I'm just going to do this for myself. So I get started. The goal that I set for myself was that I wanted to shave 5 minutes off of my time, which is a lot. Like that was the goal that I set myself. So I start with the rowing, and like it goes fine. It's like I was very tired at the end of it, but like it just went like I thought it was gonna go. So that was fine. And then I go do my body weight reps, and I am like exhausted by the time I get to the body weight reps. But I feel like I can do them. And I'm trying to improve on my time from last time. So I'm just trying to go like faster, even though I'm like crazy exhausted. I get done with my 300 body weight reps. By the way, I'm the last person to get on the treadmill, which is fine, but it also probably means that I'm gonna be the last person off the treadmill. I get on the treadmill, and like I'm doing well, but my body is clearly exhausted. When I hit that first mile, so it's 3.1 miles total, so a 5K. So when I hit that first mile, I was like, I don't think that I can do this. I was genuinely just like, my body could barely take it anymore because I was just so exhausted. But I just kept pushing through. I did end up like having to walk a few times, but I would always get back to like the running or the jogging or whatever. So everyone else is done like with the challenge. Like my heat was the last heat, and also everyone else is off the treadmill, and I'm the last person that is still on the treadmill. So I'm the last person like of the day that still has to finish. And I knew that this was gonna happen, but like the community is like very nice and very supportive. So like everyone just like, you know, they like circled my treadmill, and they were just like cheering me on for me to finish. And it was like a really, really great feeling. I'm like increasing my speeds there at the end, because like, one, I want to end on a good note, but two, also I just want to be freaking done. And there I am, and I have 0.2 miles to go, and I am at like the fastest speed that I have been like the entire time I've been on the treadmill. And I am just like so close to finishing. I don't know if this is what people mean when they say like a runner's high, but this like body experience is something that has only happened twice in my life, which was the first DriTri and the second DriTri. Like when I'm close to finishing, I just feel something like in my body. It's like this like electricity that goes through like my entire body, and I can feel it like on my shoulders and like on my chest. It's a very strange feeling, but it's something that I have never felt before, and I have felt it both of those times. And it's just when I'm like almost done. So like I'm almost there, everyone is cheering me on. There I am running my last 0.1 mile. I'm going like the fastest that I can possibly run with how exhausted I am. And everyone is just behind me, just like waiting for me to like cross the finish line. And my body is just feeling kind of like that, like high or like emotion or excitement or whatever you want to call it. Finally, I make the 3.1 miles, and you know, like everyone is cheering, and it's a great time, and I can hear the coach saying what my time is, which I don't remember what my time is. Like it was all a blur at that point, because I had to immediately stop the treadmill. I think the coach was like trying to say something to me or hand me something. I don't even know, because I needed to get the hell off of that treadmill and immediately go to the closest trash can, and I started puking. So there I am. Everyone, because I'm the very last person, everyone is just looking at me and paying attention to what I'm doing. And there I am throwing up in a trash can. So yeah. That's what happened. So I will say, I feel like I did embarrass myself, but I did end up shaving 3 minutes off my initial time. So I'm actually really proud of that. It wasn't the 5 minutes that I wanted, but I think 3 minutes is really good progress for like a single week. So I'm not mad about it. And honestly, I think back about it, and I just think it's funny that like it was quite the finish. I have to say, for the entire event. So I'm still kind of like really proud of myself. I don't have a problem with that. You know, sometimes you just gotta throw up. You know, just it's a life lesson. That's a life lesson. Sometimes you just gotta throw up. It's fine. Okay, and this is our finished look. I don't know how it looks on camera. Over here, it looks not terrible, so I'll take it. I don't know if we actually learned anything about foundations, but I really do like how my foundation looks, and I think this is a pretty good match, so I'm not mad at it. So did we learn anything else today? I think we learned don't go drinking the night before you have some kind of like sporting event. We learned that you probably shouldn't have a heavy meal before said sporting event, even if it's like 2 hours or 2.5 hours. Just don't. Just go for a lighter meal. And I think the last thing we learned is to just wait until you're finished before you throw up, and then, you know, it'll be fine. And you'll still feel good about yourself because you were able to make it. So, and then maybe you'll have a funny story the next day. All right, guys, so that is it for today. Let me know if you have had a similar experience to this, because I would actually love to hear it. Let me know what you thought about my makeup look, and just like, did you think that I chose the right foundation for my skin? I don't know how different it looks on camera, so just let me know what you think about that. And overall, just thank you so much for being here. Let me know if there's anything else you want me to talk about, but otherwise that'll be all for today, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye!